You've worked hard your entire life, saving every dollar to prepare for a comfortable retirement. And now, you're looking toward California, once praised as the promised land. But what's the reality? Housing prices are sky high. Insurance costs are soaring. The risks of wildfires, earthquakes, and flooding are becoming more severe, while infrastructure, public services, and quality of life are all declining rapidly. Tens of thousands of people have already left, and if you're not careful, you could be next. Trapped in a mortgage you can't afford, with a home that keeps losing value. This is the video you must watch before deciding to buy a home in California. We will break down the 10 worst cities to own real estate in 2025, with clear data, specific reasons, and practical advice tailored for those who truly want stability, not illusions. Watch until the end, because just one wrong decision could derail your entire retirement plan. 10. Los Angeles, the city of hidden costs. Los Angeles is no longer the American dream, but is gradually becoming a sophisticated financial trap. With more than 20 years of observing the market, I can say with certainty, few cities have home ownership costs that so vastly exceed the real quality of life like LA today. Currently, the median home price in Los Angeles hovers around $870,000, while household income is only about $75,000 per year. If you finance 80% of that home, your monthly mortgage alone exceeds $4,200. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. When you add property taxes of around $1,000 a month, homeowners insurance of $500 due to wildfire risk, plus maintenance, utilities, and HOA fees ranging from $700 to $100 or $200 per month, the total cost of ownership can reach $6,000, $6,500. Meanwhile, the average after-tax household income is less than $5,000, meaning many families are constantly spending more than they earn. What disappoints people most is not just the money. Quality of life in Los Angeles is clearly deteriorating. Traffic is perpetually paralyzed, with residents stuck in congestion an average of 120 hours a year, the equivalent of 5 full days lost on the road. Crime is on the rise, and even once safe neighborhoods like Highland Park or Mid-Wilshire are now flooded with thefts and break-ins. Air pollution has become a constant concern, with AQI levels in many areas consistently unhealthy, posing serious risks to older adults and anyone with chronic illnesses. This means you're paying a fortune, but what you get back isn't peace of mind. It's pressure, insecurity, and constant anxiety. By the first quarter of 2025, Los Angeles' housing market is showing troubling signs. Up to 23% of listed homes require price cuts to sell. The average selling time has stretched to 64 days, nearly double what it was in 2021-2022. More than 32,000 residents have left Los Angeles in just 1 year, mostly middle-class families, skilled workers, and retirees seeking a more stable place to live. The most dangerous issue now is that the market has lost liquidity, but prices haven't fallen significantly. Homeowners can't sell, while buyers hesitate to enter out of fear of long-term risks. This is the classic trapped equity situation many remember from the 2008 crisis. If you're 50 or older and searching for a stable home or retirement spot, Los Angeles is the opposite. You won't find peace because of traffic and crime. You won't find safety because of costs and the environment. And you won't find community because of constant population churn. Today's Los Angeles is a city of hidden costs and long-term financial risks. Behind the lights of Hollywood and the Pacific coastline lies a market in decline, a fragmented community, and an uncertain future for anyone still trying to hold on. 9. Oakland, affordable, but hiding a dark side. Many don't dare face you think Oakland is a smart choice after leaving expensive San Francisco. Think again. Because in 2025, the housing market here is shaking with warnings that, if ignored, could haunt you for a decade. On the surface, Oakland still has its advantages: cultural diversity, proximity to the Bay Area's economic hub, and home prices significantly lower than San Francisco. But the reality tells a different story, where the dream of stability can quickly turn into a financial burden. The median home price in Oakland is currently around $725,000, down nearly 10% in just 1 year. A number that might look encouraging, but is in fact a red flag. The market is losing its appeal. The median household income is about $97,000, yet the gap between income and living costs still leaves many struggling with mortgages, taxes, and insurance. But the trouble isn't just in the numbers. Oakland ranks among the top 5 cities in the U.S. with the highest property crime rates. From car theft to robberies to property damage, things that anyone in midlife looking for peace cannot take lightly. Homeowners' insurance here is also skyrocketing, driven by both crime and wildfire risks from surrounding areas. Many major insurance companies have already pulled out or hiked prices steeply, forcing many homeowners to switch to bare-bones coverage that costs a fortune but provides little benefit. For those 50 and older, this means paying thousands of dollars a year just to feel half secure. On top of that, more than 30% of listed homes in Oakland had to undergo price cuts in the first quarter, with selling times doubling compared to last year. This not only erodes confidence in property values, but also shows that the market is slipping into a frozen state. If you're in midlife searching for a place to live peacefully, without battling costs, without worrying every time you step outside, then Oakland, once a symbol of revival, is no longer a suitable choice. Because what you save up front could come back to you in the form of stress, hidden costs, and immeasurable risks. 8. Mendocino, breathtakingly beautiful, but isolated and risky. If you've ever driven along California's northern coast, you surely can't forget the postcard-like scenery of Mendocino, a peaceful town framed by towering redwood forests and rugged cliffs hugging the ocean. But behind that dreamy facade lies a housing market sounding alarm bells, especially for homebuyers aged 50 and over. Home prices in Mendocino currently sit around $650,000, while the average local household income is only about $60,000. At that income level, taking on a mortgage here is nearly impossible. The affordability gap is so wide that most residents are forced to choose between long-term renting or leaving the area altogether. What's even more concerning is the isolation of infrastructure and lack of basic amenities. Mendocino is located far from major urban centers. Access to specialized medical care, hospitals, emergency services, or even reliable high-speed internet is severely limited. For older adults, these aren't just inconveniences. They are risks to long-term health and quality of life. Climate risk cannot be ignored. Mendocino sits in a region with year-round wildfire danger, especially during dry summers. This has pushed homeowners' insurance costs to staggering levels, some reaching $4,700 to $5,000 per year. That's an enormous burden compared to the value of the property and the average resident's income. On top of that, in the past year, more than 35% of listed properties in Mendocino had to slash prices, the highest rate in Northern California. The market is cooling not because the town lacks beauty, but because few are willing to gamble on an area that is expensive, under-equipped, and vulnerable to natural risks. If you're searching for a quiet place to retire, Mendocino's beauty may enchant you. But remember, beauty doesn't always mean suitability. With high costs, limited infrastructure, and growing climate threats, this is more like a wild oasis. Wonderful for a short getaway, but far too risky for a long-term investment. Do you think a place like Mendocino deserves to be someone's final destination in life? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe right now. 7. San Diego, beautiful beaches but bleeding wallets. San Diego, where sunshine, blue seas, and fresh air once promised paradise, is now delivering a beautiful pain for homebuyers. The median sales price has already dropped 6.4%, down to about $932,000. And according to some sources, actual prices still hover near $998,000. Homes that once sold in a flash now linger on the market for 32 days, compared to just 18 days last year. The risks behind the glamour, crippling ownership costs. To buy a median-priced home in San Diego, a buyer would need an income of nearly $240,000 a year, double the current average household income. That's a number that forces many to abandon the dream of a home by the sea. Soaring insurance. With San Diego's prime coastal light overshadowed by wildfire risks and coastal storms, homeowners' insurance has surged more than 50%. Many are forced to buy costly add-ons, pushing maintenance costs out of control. Supply-demand imbalance. Many coastal areas are oversupplied with luxury condos, but buyers aren't interested. Homeowners are left slashing prices or watching their properties sit unsold. San Diego may be a coastal dream, but it's a dream with staggering costs to maintain. If you're looking for a peaceful retirement spot, not a place where your wallet bleeds every month, then San Diego is no longer the ideal destination. You can enjoy it on a vacation, but for long-term living, you'll need more than sunshine. Do you think Stockton or San Diego could bring peace of mind in retirement? Or are you leaning somewhere else? Leave a comment below to share your perspective. And if you found this analysis helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss valuable updates. 6. San Francisco, the city of tech and financial instability. San Francisco, once a symbol of innovation, prosperity, and freedom, has now become clear evidence of a housing market out of control, filled with risks and far beyond what ordinary residents can afford. The median home price in San Francisco now hovers around $1.4 million, with the average household income only about $140,000. Most residents must spend 60–70% of their income on housing costs. This not only exceeds any healthy financial threshold, but also makes the dream of home ownership nearly impossible, especially for those entering the post-career stage of life. Even though the market appears more stable after the pandemic, this stability is only on the surface. More than 30% of properties listed in the first quarter of 2025 were forced to reduce prices. The market is cooling, not because homes are cheap, but because buyers have lost confidence, pulled back, or simply cannot afford to buy. One of the core issues is the vast income divide. San Francisco is no longer a city for the middle class. It has become a club for the wealthy, particularly those in tech. For them, purchasing a multi-million-dollar home is within reach. But for most others, including those 50 and older who have saved and want a stable place to live, this is an unfair battle. It doesn't stop with home purchases. Rental costs in San Francisco are among the highest in the nation. A one-bedroom apartment often exceeds $3,000 a month, meaning that even those who can't buy a home still struggle with long-term renting. Homeowners' insurance costs are also climbing due to risks from property crime and climate factors. Issues like petty crime, frequent protests, and volatile weather all impact quality of life. For older adults especially, the pressure, both financial and emotional, becomes heavier when choosing to live in a city that is expensive yet unstable. If you have reached the stage where stability, peace of mind, and financial reasonableness matter most, San Francisco is not the answer. This is no longer where the American dream begins, but rather where the cost of living can swallow everything you've worked a lifetime to save. Chapter 5. Stockton, affordable, but hiding a cycle of challenges. You may hear that Stockton is a modest, more accessible alternative compared to California's major markets. The median home price here hovers around $440,000, $450,000, down about 6 to 7% over the past year. And the average time to sell a home has stretched to 32 days, noticeably longer than the 23 days recorded last year. Why is the market cooling this way? Supply is rising quickly while demand is slowing. As buyers hesitate in the face of high interest rates and economic uncertainty, the market falls into a wait-and-see mode. Homes sell slowly, prices dip, and confidence weakens. Living costs don't fall along with home prices. Stockton may look cheap, but maintenance, utilities, and potential expenses, like foundation repairs or shifting insurance costs, make owning a home far from easy. The sense of community is fading. Many new developments lack amenities, leaving older residents feeling isolated, with limited access to healthcare or social interaction. An affordable home may sound appealing, but if it drains you with hidden costs and weak services, can it really be called stability? Stockton may be a temporary fit, but it's not the place for long-term settlement. For families seeking safety and permanence, this is not where you should gamble your peace of mind on a paper-thin promise of affordability. 4. Palm Springs, the desert oasis. Running out of hope. Palm Springs has long been hailed as the resort paradise of Southern California, where tall palm trees cast their shadows over sunlit poolside villas. But if you're considering buying a home here in 2025, be prepared for a series of challenges you cannot ignore. The median home price in Palm Springs is now around $675,000, while the average household income is less than $70,000. This means many local residents are spending more than 40% of their income just on housing, a rate far above the safe affordability threshold. Meanwhile, more than 31% of properties listed here had to reduce prices in the first quarter of 2025, signaling that the market is starting to correct under the weight of costs and living conditions. Palm Springs is no longer just a resort. It's a place bearing the brunt of climate change. The number of extreme heat days, over 110 degrees or 43 degrees, has now exceeded 60 per year. That translates into skyrocketing electricity bills from constant air conditioning use, a crushing burden for retirees or those living on fixed incomes. On top of that, wildfire risks, drought, and water shortages are serious problems. Homeowners' insurance in the region has jumped nearly 50% in just 3 years, pushing the overall cost of home ownership far beyond what most buyers can manage. Palm Springs' market is also being shaped by rapid urbanization and speculative investment. New developments are springing up at a rapid pace, creating oversupply, but much of it doesn't match real demand, particularly for older buyers. Meanwhile, short-term investors are pulling out due to high operating costs and unstable rental returns. If you're looking for a peaceful retirement spot, Palm Springs may disappoint you. Its beauty cannot mask the instability of its climate, living expenses, and a housing market sliding into a mild downturn. This is the time to ask, will an investment here truly bring long-term peace of mind? Have you ever thought about settling in the blazing desert sun of Palm Springs? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Bat Jong San, for more grounded, no-fluff analysis to help you make the right financial decisions, especially if you're over 50 and searching for true stability. 3. Santa Cruz. Surf paradise or a financial undertow? The median home price in Santa Cruz has now reached $1.22 million, while the average household income is only about $85,000, a ratio that forces even well-off families to struggle. A standard mortgage can exceed $6,000 per month, not including living expenses, taxes, and other hidden costs. Santa Cruz is not just expensive, it also faces mounting climate threats. Flooding from rising sea levels, coastal erosion, and wildfires in the surrounding redwood forests are increasingly clear risks. This has driven homeowners' insurance up by 40% in just the past few years, pushing the overall cost of ownership nearly out of reach. The market itself is also slowing noticeably. Roughly 25 to 27% of properties have been listed with price cuts. Homes are taking longer to sell, buyers are hesitant, and younger residents, once the city's lifeblood, are leaving because they simply can't afford to live here anymore. Advice for those over 50. Santa Cruz may sweep you off your feet at first sight, but don't let emotion cloud reality. A home here is not only financially draining, but also demands resilience against environmental risks and soaring maintenance costs. If you're looking for peace and stability, Santa Cruz is losing exactly that. 2. Santa Barbara. When the Spanish dream becomes a headache for homebuyers. Right now, the median home price in Santa Barbara has surpassed $1.45 million. A staggering figure compared to the average household income of just over $90,000. This creates a financial chasm that few can cross, especially when paired with insurance costs reaching $5,000 to $6,000 per year due to wildfire threats, landslides, and prolonged droughts. The market is cooling, with more than 30% of properties forced to lower their prices to attract buyers. Santa Barbara's appeal is being challenged not only by cost, but also by the loss of its younger workforce, which affects service availability and overall quality of life. Santa Barbara may no longer be the idyllic destination it once was. The weight of expenses, environmental risks, and reduced care services due to a shrinking younger population all combine to make living here a dream that is both costly and risky. What do you think about Santa Cruz and Santa Barbara? Can natural beauty really cover up the harsh numbers of the market? Leave your comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more grounded, trustworthy insights, especially for those considering investing or searching for a retirement home after 50. 1. Burbank. Glamorous, but far from easy living. If Hollywood is the spotlight, then Burbank is the backstage. Quiet streets, neat buildings, and famous studios create the impression of a perfect suburb. But the reality of the housing market here tells a very different story. Tense, expensive, and full of risk. Today, the median home price in Burbank has surpassed $1 million, while the average household income is only about $90,000 per year. This turns the dream of homeownership into a financial battle, because to own even a modest home here, you'd be paying over $5,000 a month in mortgage payments, not including property taxes and insurance. And insurance costs are becoming a major headache. With wildfire threats looming from the northern hills, many companies have raised premiums by 50% or withdrawn altogether, forcing residents to pay thousands of dollars a year just to protect their property. The market is no longer as hot as it once was. Homes that used to disappear from listings in just a few days now sit for 2 months without finding a buyer. Prices in many neighborhoods have started dropping 8% to 12% compared to last year, signaling a quiet but dangerous correction. Burbank is also not cheap to live in. Beyond housing costs, residents face high living expenses, HOA fees in many areas ranging from $400 to $600 per month, and clogged traffic that makes daily commuting far less pleasant than before. What do you think about Burbank in 2025? Is it still the Hollywood dream, or has it become an option out of reach for middle-aged buyers? Leave a comment below to share your perspective. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss more in-depth, practical, and valuable analysis from us. Ladies and gentlemen, the California housing market has never been simple, and 2025 will be the year of raw truths. Cities once praised for their beauty, vibrancy, or investment value are now revealing deep cracks. From home prices far beyond affordability, skyrocketing insurance costs, and unpredictable climate risks, to a quality of life that no longer matches the price being paid. If you are over 50, have built up your savings, and are seeking safety, the cities listed in this video serve as warnings. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment. Choose where to live and where to invest, based on sustainable factors, real costs, infrastructure, quality of life, and long-term resilience. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming content. And don't forget to leave a comment. Which area are you considering? Have you experienced life in any of the cities we mentioned? Thank you, and see you in the next video.